How's it going, Jesse?
I'm great. How are you doing, John?
I'm good. So, I've been talking to my campers about how they're doing with their 24-day challenge, and I think most of them are right about the end or near the end of their 10-day cleanse. So, the first thing was some campers are feeling like they almost have too much energy. I didn't get that from everybody, but some did. In fact, one of them said she's not even taking Spark because she feels like she's got more than enough just from the pills, and she was feeling like a little bit amped by taking the packets like 30 minutes before a meal. So she was saying she felt a little better when she took it after or during a meal with food, and then that seemed to help a little bit. Just wondering what your experience has been and anything along those lines with talking to any of your campers.
Yeah, great, awesome question, and very common. So, the first thing to know is that everybody's different, and
Mm-hmm.
the whole point of figuring out what to do for maintenance or for the max pack portion of the program is customizing for the individual. So, basically, in general, just think of the 24-day challenge as a kickstart program with over 70 products, but it's like a jump start into that.
Mm-hmm.
And then what you do during the process is you figure out how to make sure that it's the right fit, like the specific way you're doing it is the right match for you and your metabolism, and then you can figure out what product regimen to do after that for maintenance. So I'll give you a couple points to help.
Okay.
First of all, the first thing is to the person that said they had a ton of energy and didn't need Spark, awesome, good for
Yeah,
you.
I thought that was great. I personally have been taking a couple a day. I usually have one in the morning and then by afternoon. Although I've noticed as I have gone through, past the cleanse and now into the last half of it, I do feel like my energy is better and not needing that as much. So that's a good thing.
Yes. So for the person that doesn't need very much, you're a cheap date. you know, in other words, you need less product to get the same benefit.
Right.
So awesome. Now, if somebody's getting too much energy, there's a lot of factors. So I'll go over some of those factors. First of all, we have, and I'm going to actually jump my screen over to this really quickly here, and hopefully you guys can see it. And if not, I'll just talk through it.
Okay.
So this is the Max Pack, which everybody is probably aware of.
Uh-huh.
And you notice right away there's the three M&S's, M&S's, and
Yeah.
there's this M&S Max E, C, and 3. So the energy
Yeah.
scale is a 10 on energy, an 8 on appetite control, and a 6 on wellness on a scale of 1 to 10. M&SC has a 10 on appetite control, 8 on energy, 6 on wellness. And what I mean by that is just it's relative, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's what it'll provide. Whereas the Max 3 is way toned down. It has additional wellness components in it. Primarily, what Max 3 has is additional omega 3s in it. It has
Oh.
this Amplify AT product, which is a high-powered antioxidant, kind of like vitamin E. And it's also, in general, just designed for people that are more on maintenance or they've already achieved their weight loss goal or they want kind of gradual weight loss.
Okay.
MS3 is also for anybody on a lot of medications or anybody who has really sensitive absorption. So if
Ah.
somebody tells me, man, if I have one cup of coffee, I'm bouncing off the walls all
Uh-huh.
day long and I'm out of control, I say, whoa, well, let's just put you on the Max 3.
Okay.
The
Good to
other
know.
thing
Okay.
about Max 3 is it's really good for ages 12 and up, so a teenager can use it.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
So now, with that being said, usually the first thought is well, geez, I got too much energy. I got to get off Max E, and I got to switch to Max C or 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not necessarily true. That what I consider that out is as a last resort, because if somebody wants energy but the Max E is just a little bit too much energy, there's a couple things you can do. First of all, it's the timing.
Yep.
So this is going to be really simple, but this is M&S. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Uh-huh.
And this is food. Now, the product tells you to take it 30 minutes,
Right.
right? Now, here's the factors that are involved in this energy issue. Most people, 30 minutes is perfect, but some people, it's too long.
Okay.
So, the solution is you just shorten this window. So, I will tell people to take their food after only 10 minutes. I will say, hey, instead of this 30-minute thing, let's take it in 10 minutes
Yeah, that makes
and then
sense.
try it. And you try that for a day and see how you feel. And oftentimes the problem's solved. Now, if someone says it's still a little bit edgy for me and I don't really like it, And then I say, okay, let's just take this window of time down to 0, and you're going to take M&S right on top of food. You're going to take it right with your meal.
Okay.
Now, some people who do that, they will still absorb it, they'll still utilize it, but they settle their stomach quickly, and it really tones in protein or a vegetable, right? But they're trying to eat really lean, so they have very, very little, small amount of protein. Now the rule is you want a minimum of 10 grams of protein. 10 grams of protein at every meal and snack with this program.
Okay.
If you don't get the 10 grams, that's not even enough to affect your system, like your insulin levels, for instance, and it isn't enough to really settle your stomach, even with the M&S. So that's minimum, though. We usually say, like you're a trainer, so you're used to this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You need to make sure that people get adequate protein at that meal, because otherwise it won't be enough.
And then it helps to reduce the glycemic index too. I mean, it's just a healthier eating habit anyway.
Exactly. So the protein is really critical. So the first thing is the timing.
Yep.
The second thing is the protein. And then there's a third issue. Third issue is, in general, people sometimes don't have enough calories. So we're giving them general dietary guidelines here, but some people are like, you can have a 100-pound woman and a 200-pound man, and they're both eating the same diet. Like they all just have 4 almonds each. Well, the 200-pound man, that is not enough food.
Yeah, for sure.
And so some of the people, here's what you're looking for. If somebody says that I don't have enough energy, low calorie equals low energy. So oftentimes they're not getting enough calories. Other people don't really feel very good. They get the energy from the products, but they don't feel a good, clean energy. They feel kind of an out of control energy. That's sometimes because they didn't get enough food either.
Okay.
So the first thing is, to review that, is the timing of the product. The second thing is the protein, if they're getting enough. And the third is just the amount of food.
Okay.
And then the fourth and final one is water.
Yeah, for sure.
Drinking the water, this program is just like the cleanse. It's not going to work for them. So
yeah.
Let's say you try all those things. Like I call somebody back and I ask them and I say, hey, so you did all these things and we tried it one day and then we tweaked it, and the second day and the third day you're getting kind of tired of trying these things because it doesn't seem to be working. Then I say, okay, let's exchange your M&S. And I'll often just exchange somebody's max E, take them down to max C, which is kind of middle of the road energy, and that'll solve it.
Great.
Or, of course, you can go all the way down to the max 3. They refuse. There's a little bit of investigative work that needs to be done, sleuthing, because everybody's different.
Right.
But here's the one thing I do know is that once you dial it in, like you feel like, oh, this is my product regimen, this is the specific M&S I want, this is how much Spark I drink. I don't like a whole, I like 3/4 or half of a Spark, or I like 2 double Spark, because I really want the energy. And then all of a sudden that person goes, oh, I feel amazing, and it's like that. And all of a sudden they love Advocare. They have that real wow feeling like we had 6 years ago.
Well, this is why I wanted to really make sure they have the right info, and I know that not everybody's the same, and so we want to make sure that they're getting the right mix and timing and combinations of things that work best for them, because I know that if they feel as amazing as I have been, they're going to want to really take it all the way. So that's very helpful. Thank you. Another question was just about feeling hungry before the workout, or not feeling like they had enough energy during the workout. And this is during the cleanse phase. And I asked, are you taking the fiber drink? And she was like, well, not every day, because the cleanse doesn't have you taking that every day. And I was like, oh yeah, of course, because it really does help me feel satisfied and full. It helps me get through to the next meal really well. And there's some good energy in there to get through a workout. But I could totally understand if I was actually adding a little bit of protein, and I would have like a hard-boiled egg myself, for example, or getting some fruit in there. So I'm guessing that's your answer, is make sure you are having a little food. Maybe even if you are taking the fiber drink, you might want to add a little bit of food, especially if you're doing an intense workout like we do, where we're probably burning about 500 calories a session.
So first of all, it's probably a little late now because almost everybody in your program's done with the cleanse. But
right.
That's okay. And you may have somebody starting now or later, or in the new year. So the first thing I would say, the very first day of the cleanse, sometimes we tell people not to work out that day. So that's why
Ah,
Sunday would be a great day to start,
oh, okay.
because they won't be at boot camp until Monday, right?
Yeah.
That would be ideal because they can just let their body adjust to that.
Okay.
But let's say you don't have that luxury because you're starting on a Tuesday and you don't want to miss your workout. In that case, here's another option. You can actually wake up first thing in the morning, since it is an early 5:30 a.m. boot camp, right? That's what
Yep.
you're referring to? Okay. So in that case, you can take Spark and Catalyst. They're really good pre-workout, little
Mm-hmm.
energy boost. And the Catalyst, you'll utilize Catalyst really well if you use it right before a workout.
Yeah. It's been working well for me. It feels like I have a lot more energy in my workouts just adding that one thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you'll recover quicker from it too.
Mm-hmm.
So you hold on to your lean muscle tissue.
Yeah.
Now, then what you do is as soon as you leave the workout, that's when you start your day. So in other words, like when you're following the schedule, it's
Gotcha.
better just to hit those. And then right when you're done with the workout, then you're drinking your water, you're having your fiber drink, you're preparing breakfast.
Right.
Some of the documents make it sound as if you need to take the fiber drink and then wait a while. You
Right.
don't need to do that.
Yeah.
You need to wait a while with Catalyst or Spark. You want to take that in between meals. But fiber drink, you could wait. One of the documents says wait. But if you have a workout in the morning, you just might as well just take it with food. So
Yeah.
it's additional fiber to add to whatever you're having for breakfast. So that way you're, right when you need some calories after your workout, you're going to get them. Now, some people wake up really early, which I don't know how you do that, but I'm sure you have a couple that are up really early and they actually eat before the workout.
Yeah.
If for those people, and they're used to it, see, if I eat a bunch and I go do boot camp 5:30, I'm throw up. But